Howdy everybody, and welcome to a very special mini-series event here on Random Rhapsody. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around a virtual table today are an entirely new cast of players. We are playing a brand new TTRPG system that recently just got funded on Kickstarter. The game is called Magi-Knights, and it's based on one of my favorite anime tropes, magical girls and Sentai. Think Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, and the like. You can find this online at Magi-Knights.com, and you can even get in on the Kickstarter right now. It's still going on. You still have a few days left. If you're really interested, you can pledge for that. So check it out sometime. But for now, we are actually going to be rolling characters and getting into the beginning of the game. The title of this is An Echo from the Stars. And, like I said, joining me around the table today, brand new cast of characters. Here they are now. Couple people you might recognize from the series. We have Stephen Parker here from the Debauchery Circus, and we have Alyssa Egan from the Fab Five. Everyone else here, we have Dasonie, we have Hito, we have Klathos, and we have Ryuu. So welcome everybody. We've been talking for the last couple of hours about our characters and that sort of thing, but we're actually going to start rolling the characters right now on camera here. So here's how this actually works, which I'm going to pull up right now. Okay, so first off, we're going to be observing Fate's influence. See, the Magic Keeper, which is me, gets to roll a d4 in secret, and I get to keep this result hidden. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And of course, for some reason, it's not showing up, so I got to move that up just a little bit. There we go. As you can see it on the camera, they can't see it, but we can. Now, observing fate together. The rules specifically say gather 5d4 and distribute them as evenly as possible around the squadron. All players now roll with their d4s. Starting with a player who has the most recent birthday, which actually we're just going to kind of go around the circle here, and going clockwise. Everyone gets to roll. They're supposed to either deny fate or accept fate. What this means is that fate die that I just rolled, they can either choose to accept it or denying it. Denying fate rejects the fate die from influencing the squad's rolls, while accepting the fate leads to the Magic Keeper revealing the fate die to the players and allowing it to influence. The squadron may discuss as a team which choice may be favorable, but the individual has the final choice and must make the decision on the squadron's behalf. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to everyone, but the way it reads to me is everyone as a group is going to decide right now whether to accept fate or deny fate. If they deny fate, we're going to ignore that roll. If they accept it, then anyone who rolls that number has to re-roll and take the new number. So that's what that means. Does that make sense to everybody so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
In theory.
Yep.
However, we
Yes.
have run into one snag.
What's that?
You said 5d4. There's 6 of us.
Yeah, so
There's 6 stats though,
players.
so
well, that part
6
doesn't
players.
matter. So what we're actually doing is you're going to let's see here. You're going to roll 5d4 and then drop the lowest one. Okay, and those remaining numbers become your stat. Now, any of the number that I rolled has to be re-rolled as well. That's what the gather the 5d4s mean, because just they want everyone to have 5d4. It's worded a little weird, but yes, sir.
If we're doing order, because there is some strategy to this, it does say under observing fate that we all roll our d4s and then make the choice of whether to accept or deny.
Yeah, that is true, but at that point you have to it chooses for the group. Yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of feel like it should be more fair. The group decides right now whether or not to accept it or to deny it. I think that's a little more fair than like going around and trying to decide, okay, I'm going to decide for everybody.
I think it's more about like if everybody rolls, then we see, hey, we all rolled a whole bunch of 4s, and if it turns up a 4, then we'd have to all re-roll it type thing.
That could be too.
Yeah, it's more the order of operations, not the who chooses.
Okay. So basically, everyone has to roll their d4s and then decide, do I want to accept the fate or deny the fate? And if you accept the fate, it affects everybody. But if you deny it, then it affects nobody. That sound about right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we accept or deny as a group.
Yeah. So that means that every single person should right now roll 5d4,
Whoops.
and then we're going to drop the lowest one, and you're going to decide. Look based on that number.
Like 5d4? No.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Roll 5d4, drop the lowest number, and add the other 4 together.
Oh shit!
Oh, are we all rolling for a stat basically? Since there's 6 of
Yes.
us.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. That makes sense.
That does seem legit. Let me see.
Ooh. Hmm.
That
There's
would be
probably a
14 if I kept it.
it's probably a code for 5d4 drop the lowest.
I'm sure
There
there
is.
is, but I don't know it. So it's honestly the way we do it. It just shows them.
I remember it, but I can't type it out. I know what you're
That's
talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, these are some rough rolls.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
forgot we were using the dice roll, and I
depends.
actually rolled physical dice, and they rolled really well. But that doesn't count.
Doesn't
I
count.
got a 9 after dropping the lowest.
Hey,
It was
like
14, so that's not bad.
That's 12.
not bad.
Yeah.
What's mine at 7? Jeez.
So
We're doing great, Iris. The best friends are doing great.
if we got a 1 on our reroll die, then it could be pretty good. But if we got a 4, then it could screw over those of us who rolled higher. So we got to decide what we want to do.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind that if it's less than 71, we have to do all this over again.
Yes, that's true too. So why don't somebody real quick before you we decide whether or not you accept fate, add that up and see if it or actually no, you're supposed to do it afterwards. You're supposed to do it afterwards. I'm sorry.
Because it could
So-
change.
So we have our base stats right now. That's an 8. That's that's a 12. That is a 14. That's a 9, a 7, and an 11. So those are the stats you rolled as a group. But you can choose right now to accept fate or to deny fate.
We have a lot of 2s, so there's a 50-50 shot.
I'm always down for a little luck.
Yeah. I'm down with
Accept it.
accept.
I say we
fate.
accept it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we accept per stat or like all as one?
All as one.
Okay.
As
We have a lot of
yeah.
bad stats. I don't feel like we can be
Ooh.
more screwed than we are.
Yeah.
But
Here's the thing: we can't because our numbers are too low. If they go any lower, we just do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think accepting fate is beneficial.
accepting
agree with
fate
that.
it is, boss.
Okay. Accept fate it is. So as everyone who was watching this actually saw, the number that the dice roll was 2.
Nice.
So you actually got
All right.
really freaking lucky. So, it looks like Alyssa gets to roll 2 new d4s. Ryuu, you don't get to roll shit.
Nope. Hey, you know what? It's a 12. It's pretty good.
Yep. Let's see. Daryl technically gets to re-roll 1 2.
Yep.
I get a reroll 3.
Yeah, you get to roll 3, and Dasonie gets to roll 2.
Well, mine was worse, so the number stays the same.
I got a 2 and a 7.
Well, that's worse.
Oh wait, no, that's 2 2s. Look for someone else.
Yeah, that's 2 2s.
Gonna say you can't get a 7 when you're rolling D4.
Unfortunately, if you re-roll a 2 again, you got to keep that number.
Hmm. Well, mine bumped up by 1, so it's no longer a 7.
Serenity's bumped up by 2.
Yeah, so she got.
I can try and add it up so I can put like the whole spread.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's our spread right now?
So mine is an 8. I'll just type that in there like that.
Looks like
Okay.
Serenity's ended up as a 10.
Mine's
Hers
still
should
not.
be an 11,
And-
right?
No,
No. It would be 10
Yeah, it's
because
10,
of that. Yeah.
because of the 1.
And mine is 9 because that 2 rolls down to a 1.
Okay. So
What phenomenal stats we have.
Yeah, so
This
that,
is-
the
That
group
is
stats
62
ended
total.
up 8, 14, 9, 10, 12, 9.
62.
Which
62.
which added up 62, which is
And
not high enough, so
it's
we
not
do it
high
again.
enough. So we get to do this all over again. This is the process
All right.
for creating a character. Now here's the thing I'm going to toss out, just for time saving. We can do one more, and if we don't like those numbers, I will allow you to choose the heralds one.
Standard
instead.
array.
Yeah, the standard
Yeah.
array. If you choose to roll a third time, the third time will be the last time. And you'll have
Ooh.
to take whatever you got.
Okay.
That fair?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
do we have to roll these for each individual stat?
No, you as a group are rolling for the stats.
Oh,
So the
okay.
stats
So
you
we're
got-
using everybody's number.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to have 6 people. That way
Yeah.
each person rolled 1, and what the group had is the group had.
Gotcha.
So we're going to do this one more time. I am going to roll the D4 first. And I have done so now. So, everyone go ahead, roll 5d4, drop the lowest.
Whoops. That's not the right.
Holy sh!
Yeah, that's not 5d6.
No,
Good try. there.
Pretty
That's
good.
still good though.
That was good.
Well, mine went down
Wow.
by 4 points.
I mean, mine went
Right.
up. Well, there was nowhere else to go but up for me.
That's true.
Right. Now this is a really good array.
This is really good, actually.
So look at the array real quick before you consider the fate die. Go ahead and tally up what those 6 numbers would be.
I got 14 after dropping 2.
Is
1,
80.
Okay.
4,
80.
5,
So
Ooh,
the
dang.
rolls ended up being 10, 15, 14, 14, 13, 14. That's a pretty good spread for this system.
Mhm.
So what those of you who are watching at home don't yet know is no stat can be above 16 at level 1.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
So yeah, we might as well keep this.
Yeah, so
I
79.
think
My
the fate die isn't worth it.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
no stat during this process can be higher than 14. So my 15 is actually a 14.
Oh,
really?
yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah,
once
'cause
you add the modifiers, it can't go above 16.
Well, no
Correct.
matter what, it can't go above 16, but you can have a 15. There's a 15 in the standard array.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a 15 in the standard.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
so
So
as
Hold
you
long-
on.
can have a 15.
As long as you don't put it into a score that would raise it above,
Yeah,
then
any
you're
score
fine.
that raises above 16 just becomes 16. So if you put a 15 in your +2, it would still be 16.
Yeah, but if you put 15 in your +1, then it'd be a 16, and that's fine.
Oh, okay. It would help if I read the full sentence
Yeah.
of,
Yes.
of,
Feel
of
that.
the
It might,
modifying section.
actually.
But I am going to toss this out. Alyssa, since you are the average student, none of your stats can be above 15. So keep that in mind when you're building your character as well. Okay, so now that you've seen your stat, you all have a choice as a group. Do you accept fate or deny fate?
I think
Oh,
we're good.
I'm denying
Yeah,
it.
nah,
I
I'm
think-
good.
100%.
Yeah,
It's enough for me, babes.
We good.
we're good.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, I'm not sure if you're supposed to tell what it was,
I think it's
but
DM's
I'm going to
choice.
do it anyway, just because I can. The number I rolled, 3.
Oh god,
So
Goodness.
That would've been bad.
that would have changed the game up quite a bit. But hey, now you got your stats, everybody. So go ahead and plug those into your Magi-Knight character sheets that we've built on Excel. Adjust them accordingly through the additional points. Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Alright, so do we have to use the Excel form, or can we also just use the PDF, the fillable PDF?
So as we play, I don't care which one you use. The reason I wanted everyone to use the Excel one to build their character is because it actually makes the process a little easier and helps you understand it a little bit better.
Mhm.
But while we play, as long as you can get to your stats and I can see them, that when it's shared to me, so I know that you're not cheesing or anything like that. I don't
Makes
care
sense.
if you use the PDF; it doesn't matter to me.
Seems legit. And is there a way to add our characters to Roll20?
Unfortunately, no. So the only way,
Ah.
like, I could just give everyone a D&D character sheet, and it's pretty fucking similar, and we could use that. But there are certain stats that are different. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
and like I spent this last week looking into and trying to learn how to build a character sheet. I don't know HTML code that well, and that's basically what it is you have to build a character sheet from scratch if you don't have one pre-generated.
Now, keep in mind, if you're using the Excel, you set your stat bonuses, and then you don't put them into your base stat list because it auto
Yeah.
adds them
It
for
auto
you.
does that,
Mhm.
yes. But I mean, it is very simple to look at your character sheet, see what the number is, and then you use the dice roller, the advanced dice roller, to roll that. That's how we're going to be rolling all of our stats in this game.
Yeah.
So in the advanced dice roller, you just put in how many dice it is, what type of dice, d20 and so on, and put your modifier next to that, and then hit roll. Just like I did right there.
Before everybody puts in their stats, there is one more thing we have to do because we denied fate.
Oh.
You
That's
remove the lowest d4 from a player's dice pool and reduce the highest die by 1.
That's
So
true.
all of our stat spreads are 1 less than we actually posted.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which still puts it better than Harold.
Wait, what's
By the
that
way.
again?
So our stat spread is actually 9, 14, 13, 13, 12, 13. Because
I
you have
didn't-
to reduce the highest die by 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, because
if-
I was going to
if
say
the
I
play-
didn't roll any
Yeah,
fours.
so if the player chose to deny fate, remove the lowest d4 from the player's dice pool and reduce the highest die by 1. Add up the remaining 44s together, and well, no, that we already did that part. As far as
We
the
didn't
low
subtract
dice.
1.
We didn't subtract 1, so one number has to go lower. That's it.
Oh, only one?
Yeah, just the 15 has to go down to a 14.
Wait, I thought that was per.
I don't think so. It says if the player chooses to deny fate, remove the lowest d4 from the player's dice pool. That's when you take a 5d4 and have 4d4.
Correct.
And reduce the highest die by 1. Add the remaining
Yes.
d4s together and write down the number.
Yeah, so
Okay, so
the...
you've generated.
Right.
So yeah, it would be for each one. You're right.
Yes.
Oh, yikes.
That being said, we can also modify it where each of us may choose to reduce 1 by -2 to add +2 to another stat. But we
Yeah.
can't, that's when we can't raise it higher than 14.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think that we have still a good spread.
And it'd be cheating now to say we're going to re-roll because we already know what fate is.
Yeah, we're not gonna use that because I did tell you what it was, and I forgot about what it said on the ninth. All right, actually, I just read it wrong. Really what it
So
was.
it's 9, 14, 13, 13, 13, and 12.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is still better than the Herald's Array. So
Yeah.
In total.
I'm gonna put this on a notepad for myself.
And then, as you said, modifying the total. Each player may choose to reduce one statistic by -2 and add a +2 to another statistic, but it cannot be raised above 14. And it can't be lower than 6.
It can't be raised above a 15 or a 14?
14. If you take a -2 and to something and put a +2 in something else.
Mm-hmm.
And then during the entire character creation process, no statistic may ever be above 16.
How wimpy do I want to be?
That's a mood right now.
Mine is fully in strength.
So I could get that 16 dexterity if I did something like, say, a 7 in strength.
It's up to you.
Gotta have a weak point somewhere.
I don't know. Is anybody else doing that? The trade-off?
I won't unless somebody like wants me to use that somewhere, but I don't think it's necessary.
I fully dumped strength for dexterity and just picked up a finesse weapon, even though it doesn't have my element in it.
But you're only
Well, keep in
proficient
mind,
with weapons of your element.
You're only proficient with weapons that are your element type.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
can
thing
still
about
use
this.
them, you just don't get them bonuses.
Proficiency bonus.
No, my strength is 9. Honestly, I might just switch to a different motion.
And that's the drawback about taking the void element, is that the only thing you're able to use is those the magical implements, the wand, the staff, or the musical instrument. When I first created my character in my test run session, I chose void, and the rules for weapons were slightly different. So I gave myself a ranged weapon. Well, when the update came and they changed it, void, which was what I chose, you couldn't use that weapon anymore. So I had to either sit there and decide: do I want to take the weapon, or do I want to change my element? I ended up changing my element to fire, and I used poison as my sub element.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so my guy ended up being a sniper because I took the ranged weapon. And I gave him a sniper rifle.
You know
So
what? I think I am going to modify a stat.
You are?
What you gonna do?
I'm
Is that-
going to modify my intelligence to add +2 to wisdom.
Well, you
I
modify
see.
the whole array, like for
Oh,
everybody.
do I? I thought it was just the
What?
player.
No, it's
No,
minus
just one. You take -2 out of one stat and put +2 in another one.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought it was just for one player. I apologize.
No, anyone can make that choice, but it's only for one stat.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it is. You can do it.
Yeah, but it affects the entire array, not just one player.
What?
What?
No. That
That's not
doesn't
how
make
I-
sense.
So each player may choose to reduce one statistic by -2 and to add +2 to another statistic. This may not raise the chosen stat higher than a 14. If it would
Yeah,
reduce it to 14. It doesn't say anything about it affecting everyone.
No,
It says
it's-
each player
'cause
may
this is-
choose.
Because it's all under Observing Fate's influence, which is the generation of the array.
But it doesn't make sense if, say, for example, I want to lower my strength. Well, then, somebody else.
You don't lower everybody's strength. You'd lower like the number of the array that can then be put wherever.
Mm.
So, like, if we wanted to add 2 to the 9 and remove 2 from the 14,
No, because it's each player.
Yeah, it specifically
Yeah.
says each player may choose to do this. Therefore, it doesn't affect
It's not a
everybody.
group choice. It doesn't affect everybody. It's you put your stats where you want them, and then if you choose to, you can remove 2 from one stat and add 2 to another.
Yes.
okay.
That's how I read it as well.
Okay,
I'm fine
it's
with
not
that.
how I read it, but if I'm outvoted, then that's cool. In that case, I might actually do that.
So yeah, I'll drop my strength down to 7, and then I kick my dexterity up to 15 with my +1 will give me a 16.
There you go.
So I'll end up with a 16 in dexterity and wisdom.
But that's how
But
we're
I
going to
thought
do
that-
it. We can always also just ask the rule mechanics and
Yeah.
see what their ruling is. But that's how I'm interpreting it. And so for the terms of this particular game, that's how we're going to do it.
That may
thought-
need to be something that's modified in the
Yeah.
rulebook anyway.
The official
Mm.
rule book when it comes out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that you couldn't raise it up to a 15 in this way. It was a maximum 14.
Yes.
Yes, the number
Correct.
itself can't go above 14.
Oh, so you have to have a +2 to get a 16 then?
Yes, you would have
Yeah.
to put your +2 in that one.
Yep.
Okay. Well then, I don't... Then the only thing that I could raise would be if I raised my 12. But I don't think I need to do that.
Other question.
Yes, sir.
Does it have to be 2, or can I just -1?
It says specifically +2, -2, so we're going to go with that.
Alright, seems legit. Just wanted to double check.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No harm in ever asking a question.
Yep.
Okay. Has everybody set up their stats the way they want to?
Not exactly that.
Not exactly.
That's okay. Take your time. While you're putting those together, we have already done a few things for our characters. We chose what type of student we wanted to do. We chose the element that we wanted to represent us. We chose what weapon we're going to use and the spells that our Magi-Knights have. Once we do our introduction, I'm going to give everyone the opportunity to describe themselves as their player character. And then I'm going to give them a chance to transform and describe themselves as their Magi-Knight character. So you can think about how you want to describe yourselves transforming and what you look like when that time
Did we
comes.
ever fully decide on what our theme was going to be for the team?
Are we gonna do like Knights of at night?
Yeah.
Category
Yeah.
is Knights in the nighttime.
The at night nights.
What does it look like?
The Night-Knights.
Constellation armor, like depending on what aspect of night you're representing, like if you're water, like calm waves type thing. If you're fire, maybe like crackling flames around your suit.
Okay, all right, cool.
Ooh, I've got an idea.
Oh no. That sounds dangerous.
Well,
I feel like we need to go Saint Seiya now.
my element is
Oh,
force,
yes.
right? So what's one of the most forceful things in the night sky? A comet.
Ooh, I love it.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
I also picked the cheesiest catchphrase of all time, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'm not gonna say it now.
No, don't say it right now. Don't say it right now. Say it when we get to that point.
Yeah, we have to wait for the
Yes.
moment to deliver
Yeah.
it.
Yes. No. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Oh, no. What is everyone's ages? Like, not player, character. The character's
Yeah.
ages.
Oh,
16.
16.
17. No, 16. I changed it.
I forgot to bring something up during character creation because I was gonna ask if it's cool.
Oh no.
And if not, that's perfectly fine. Like I can go either way.
Uh-oh.
It's not cool, but go ahead anyways.
We got a Justin, don't we?
How dare you? Because like if I'm gonna be the like very like school proficient studious kind of person, is it okay if David has like skipped a grade or two? Not a whole lot. He's not like a kid in here, but like 14.
14, I think, is a little young for this. 15 would be probably the youngest I would go.
Okay, that's fair. So that's
14 with a
skipped one
part-time
grade.
job?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I'm down with that.
You
Down
could
to
just
15.
still have skipped 2 grades and be 15. You'd
You'd be
just
15
be
as a senior. Yeah.
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 Well,
Have you learned nothing from Power Rangers Turbo?
Justin isn't that bad. Like, when you go back on it, Justin isn't that bad. He's just kind of boring.
yeah. So he is that bad.
That's fair.
Look, Justin is in Turbo the one who solves most of the problems of that season, while all the adults and teenagers just sit around going, "What?" Like
Yeah.
it's really weird when you rewatch it knowing that.
Yeah, he's like a calm, cool, and collected kid. It's just that he's the least interesting one there.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of us were probably young enough that we're like, hey, why does this guy get to be a Power Ranger and I gotta sit here at home?
I was the opposite because I'm like, my name's Justin. I can be a Power Ranger.
You fell into the trap they were setting.
I just wanted the cute Red Ranger to come back, so I was like, please get off the screen.
You know, that's
Then the bald
valid.
dude with the muscles back.
Oh, TJ, yeah, he was cool.
I was
Yeah.
like, he's cute. Why am I looking at this child? Send the muscle man back.
I mean, all right. So then we've got 3 11th graders, and then David is 15 but a senior.
I mean, I'm cool with it only being 1 grade so that we can all still be like in the same classes.
Well, I was just gonna ask because I haven't decided whether 16 or 17. So depending on if you had chosen for Iris, because I feel like we would be in the same grade.
Somebody could be older and have a lower intelligence score and have been held back.
Oh my gosh.
One of us could be dumb.
I stole the grade they were supposed to get.
Unfortunately, that's not possible for the student type I chose, but here we are.
I think my intelligence stat is... Well, I've got 4 14s after my plus 1s to the stat, so
That's perfect.
Same.
Yeah.
I have a 9 in Dex, is where I decided to put that. So
Ooh.
I put mine in
Okay.
charisma because I spend more time people watching than actually talking to anyone.
Charisma was my dump stat, and I dumped it even harder with the modify the roll, so it's a 7.
My modifier, I dumped strength. I'm probably not going to be using my weapon that much.
I also dumped strength, but I have a finesse weapon, so it's okay.
I dumped
Fair.
charisma.
All
Like,
blast, all the
So
time.
we're
baby.
all really great people.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I have a charisma of 12 and a wisdom of 16, so I may not be the greatest at talking to people, but I understand them.
My wisdom and my charisma are both 15.
Okay, see, there we go. You can do the talking.
Yeah.
We
my
need a
wisdom and
face.
charisma are both 14 as
You're
well.
the face of the party.
Oh,
What are you
very.
doing hanging out with us? This isn't how
What?
clicks work.
Listen.
Okay, so wait, do we know? Did you know? Is Iris 16 or?
I initially wrote down 16, so but
Okay.
I could. I'm not gonna say that actually.
Now I have to hear it. Now I simply have to know.
Oh dear. It sounds like a creeper kind of thing to say. I was about to say age is just a number.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It was a setup. Chris Hansen is behind you.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
all right.
getting back into the game itself. Is
Going
everyone
with
good?
16.
Yeah, everyone good on their stats.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yes.
Everyone's chosen their fate card and chosen their one generic NPC that they've have for that. Yes.
Yes.
So then I think we actually have enough to get started if everyone's good with that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I gotta go at 10, but other than that, I'm good.
Yep. We're gonna do a quick intro. It's not gonna take too long. Then we're gonna sign off, and that's gonna be it for today. But okay, so our
That
story,
too.
the story of the Magi-Knights, begin in a small Pacific Northwestern town in the United States of America, Laropa City. During the day, Laropa is a bustling and thriving town, full of life and vibrant energy. At night, shops tend to close a little early, and families lock their doors at night, though nobody can really explain why. Now, near the center of town lies Coltrast Academy, the pride and joy of Laropa, a private high school of great renown and academic achievements. The school's football and basketball teams, the Coltrast Cheetahs, remain undefeated for the last 10 years. While the city does have a public high school as well, nobody really talks about that. It's on, the southern side of town, and they're not nearly the students that the Coltrast Academy puts out. All of you are students at Coltrast Academy. How you got there, what that story is behind, that's something we're going to discover as we play. Perhaps you are the new student who's just arrived in town. Perhaps you've been living there your whole life and never stood out. Or perhaps you are the life of the party and everyone knows your name. Regardless of what that is, over the course of the last summer, each of you have had a traumatic event in your lives. Was it the death of a family member? The injury of a good friend? Who knows? But in this moment, a being appeared before you. A small black cat that you can hear meowing in my background. But this one, when it looked at you, you saw the shine of intelligence in its bright green eyes. And it spoke to you. It gave you a choice. You could either accept its help and become free of this situation by whatever means it's necessary to do that. But in return, you must devote yourself to protecting your city from the outsiders that try to invade it. Whatever your reason was for accepting this deal, you did. And the event was resolved. And the black cat disappeared as though it never was there. And you couldn't help but wonder, was this a dream? Did this actually happen? You're not quite sure. But as the summer came to a close and the new school year was about to begin, you saw that black cat again, standing outside your door. There it is. It's late at night, around 8, 9 o'clock, and this cat is just there. You're almost compelled to follow it, as though you just have to know, did that actually happen in my life? Was that black cat there? Whatever happened, the next day you found an object, a crystal of some type, and you've always carried it with you from that moment, because it was that only real key to this being something more than just a dream. You have this in your pocket as you go out of your house and try to approach this cat, but every time you do, it starts walking away. But you follow it. And after some time, you find yourselves being led into Laropa City Park, a very large, overly green park with, baseball courts, tennis courts, a small pool, but a lot of forest land. And this is where the cat leads you to. In one moment, You think you've lost sight of it, and you're looking around in the darkness, surrounded by trees. But then you see it again, standing on a branch of a tree. And yet it has wings, large, almost reptilian-like, coming out from its shoulders. You're starting to wonder, did I eat something weird? Am I having a bad trip? But you still follow it further, deeper into the forest, until you come to a clearing. The cat vanishes, and yet instead you see 5 individuals around you, all stepping into the middle of this clearing. Perhaps you recognize some of them, perhaps you don't. But as you all walk closer and approach one another, you realize these are all students from my school. The black cat appears once again. Welcome, Magi-Knights. Welcome. You answered my summons, and here you are. Do you have the crystal that I gave you? You each hold it up, and it's kind of surreal, because each one of you have one of these. Some of you definitely know one another, but you don't remember having this odd connection. The cat says, each of you are here because you answered the call. Because of what happened in your lives, you have much more power, much more fortitude than the average individual, and that's why you are here now. Those crystals you have in your hand are a gift, a source of your power, a way to focus and to harness that innate ability inside you. He looks over at Iris. Iris, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know all about power.
I do?
Iris, why don't you go ahead and describe yourself?
So it's a good question. Iris has meandered here from track practice. So they are currently garbed in their track uniform, with a side bag, short, dirty blonde hair, and brown eyes. The crystal that Iris bears is a sparkling watery blue.
You kind of look at that crystal, and you can feel something in your mind. A call. Words of power. And you can feel that power bubbling through that crystal. You hold it in your hand, and you don't say the words just yet, but they're on the tip of your tongue. You look over to your left, and Dasonie, why don't you go ahead and describe your character?
Jasmine is a 6 even, slender young woman with a very very sharp features, angular face, sharp eyes, the deep black irises, dark brown skin, with a giant afro braided to cornrows in the front. She looks nervous, terrified. But more than that, she looks like she just wants to get this over with, whatever it is.
No doubt it's kind of weird having a cat talking to you and seeing all these new faces, people you've probably maybe seen one of them, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I work with that kid.
And you point over to that one kid. Why don't you go ahead and describe your character?
Sure. My character is David Copeland. He is a little bit younger than the rest of the crowd at 15. He is a Caucasian short kid with light brown hair and sky blue eyes. He is in just kind of jeans and a Power Rangers t-shirt. And he did not come here out of a lot of curiosity. He followed the cat to pet it.
Oh, jeez.
And the cat actually walks over to you and kind of rubs itself between your legs and around, kind of snakes around a little bit. He lets you pet it.
Oh, then he is
That's
bent
really
down, getting hands all over this cat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But standing next to you is probably the most average individual you've ever seen. Why don't you go ahead and describe yourself? Can't hear you.
Okay, so you see, just a girl. She's not super slender, not super thick. She's the only thing that really stands out about her is just how dark her hair is and how light her eyes are. But there's not really like a color, per se. Yeah, you think maybe you might have seen her around, but you're not really sure. Maybe. Other than that, she just kind of leans over to Iris and just like, you can see him too, right?
Can't hear you, Iris.
Oh, Iris just says, I'm pretty sure. Everybody's got their cats out now.
Well, mine's
yeah, of
complaining.
course.
Mine's complaining because it's time. It's supper time for him. It's the last meal of the night.
Ow, ow, ow. It's kind of hurting.
But yeah, so not really stand out in any way. And the crystal that she's holding. Yes, go shoot, be elsewhere. The crystal that she is holding in her hand kind of seems to like swirl and vacillate between like super duper dark and very, very light.
Okay.
But again, not much like color.
Yeah. Just the color neutral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not even beige, guys. Not even beige.
Yeah. Now, there's two more individuals in this party who probably are more staring at one another than anything else because they know each other fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go for it next?
So my character is Daryl Musashi, brother to another character. We are half Japanese, half British, although I would take more after my mother, who was Japanese. I followed the cat because obviously magical creatures usually are sources of untold wisdom, and it's wise to listen to them. I have black hair, gray eyes. I look like I'm in shape, but I'm that like skinny so that you can't really tell if I'm actually in shape or just really skinny.
Tell us.
And my crystal is very, very dark, like black. But then you'll occasionally, if you stare at it for long enough, you'll just see things like streak across it in different colors.
I like it. Okay, and your sibling standing right next to you. Why don't you go ahead and describe him?
He is probably an inch shorter than Jasmine is. And he has short blonde hair, kind of blue-green eyes. The way he wears his school uniform is to kind of hide like any musculature that might be under there. He is a rather calm person, though he looks concerned. He followed this cat because it might not have been a dream, and that might be important. His intuition said as much. And his crystal looks like like it goes from brown to kind of bright green, and has like it kind of calls to mind like either camouflage or like soil and plants.
The cat standing there, stepping away from being petted. Yes, it is school uniform, by the way. Everyone wears a school uniform to the cat. The cat walks over into the center, and he looks about each one of you, and he says, "That those crystals that you all hold is what allows you to access the innate magic within you. Hold those crystals up and speak the words that are in your heart, and you will transform into a Magi-Knight, the defender of good and protector of your world from the evil of the outsiders. And once you do, you'll be able to sense the same things that I sense now. Go ahead, go ahead." Who wants to describe their transformation into a Magi-Knight? Or you can roll off for it.
Roll.
Roll off.
I know. I need I need time to think about it a little bit more personally.
Okay, that's fine. You will have till next session when you actually need it. But if you guys don't want, if you want to wait until your first combat to describe it, that's fine too. You want to go ahead?
Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
Jasmine looks down at her crystal, which I forgot to describe. It's dark purple, but you swear you can see flecks in it that look like stars. And she just looks down and says, "Shine down the night sky." And she floats into the air, and it looks like she's being engulfed in the night sky itself. Blue and purple and black energy wraps around her, and a bright star flashes, and she lands in a battle skirt that is gradient like the night sky, with spikes going around the bottom of it. Black leggings with black combat boots, and the top part being a like armored breastplate into the arms, which are also like black mesh with gauntlets on the front. Her afro pushed back and with a hairband that also is constellation themed, and with her crystal in the center of it.
There we go. I like it. And as you stand
Very Sailor Moon. I love it.
Yeah, I very much do. And as the rest of you are just standing there, kind of gawking at this amazing, impressive form, you do sense a weird strangeness over the night. You're very attuned to the night, especially looking at that transformation you just described, and you didn't sense this before, but now you do. This odd sort of wrongness that just seems to lay heavy over the atmosphere. Something is off. Something is wrong. You can't pinpoint where. It feels like it's all around you, but it's there. And the cat says, "That is what you're sensing, is the outsider. They come to infect this world and make it their own. And only you have the power to stand up against them. It's my role to seek out these individuals, to stand up and protect the world from the evil that is the outsiders, for they will take over this realm and destroy all who live in it. He looks to the rest of you. Does anyone else want to go next?
I think David sees this, and it was very cool, and is now has gone from like, okay, weird talking cat, what, to 100% in, and you can see it all over his face that just lit up as the transformation happened. And he takes his gemstone, which is I'm gonna say iolite. That sounds right. Iolite is a dark purple, like agate. So it looks very dusty, but then you refine it and it looks kind of like a dark purple diamond almost. And he takes it and he kind of holds it a little bit kind of wary at first, but then strikes a very like stark pose, and without really having any words in his heart, lets out a very confused Henshin, and nothing happens.
Oh, geez.
And everyone's just standing there waiting, watching, like, come on, what's going to happen?
My character looks embarrassed on his behalf.
Henshin! Yes.
Don't say.
No, not you have to feel the words in your heart. You have to. They're there. They're right on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah.
This is my excuse that I haven't made that up yet.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. I just wanted to give you all the chance. Yep, go ahead, Steven.
I'll look at the guy who's clearly a weeb with his Power Rangers shirt. It's not just about the right words. It's about the meaning. Power of night. Power of right. By the stars, we'll win this fight. And he just kind of like tosses the crystal in the air. And then a comet streaks down at his side and like strikes his side, and it turns into a fencing sword where the actual like comet is the basket hilt of it, and then he pulls it out, and just this sort of noble uniform, like the kind that you would wear when you were dueling, will just cover his body with like a cape and some nice pointed boots.
Very cool. Very, very cool. I like it. Okay. And now you have two Magi-Knights standing there before you. The rest of you kind of just can't help but stand there in awe. And you do feel the same thing, that same otherworldly wrongness about the, just the night sky. The cat says to you, unfortunately, you still have to go to school. There's not much I can do about that, but throughout the day, you should be looking for signs of weirdness, signs of wrongness. The outsiders, they infect people's minds. They seek to control them. They find people who are willing to serve them and to help further their goals and their gains. You can almost say they're like a cult, but they're out there, and throughout your day, you have to search for these signs, search for these odd things, because anything could be a clue that leads you to an outsider. But when you find these things and search them out, your crystal will begin to glow in the presence of the outsiders, and that's when you'll know. That's when you'll know you'll find them. The power that you have can cleanse the people of the outsider's influence and save them and bring them back to humanity, to rationality. And that's what those weapons that you hold are for. And he kind of flicks his tail towards your rapier.
I think Gawain feels like that resonates with him a lot more to protect people.
Okay. Does anyone else want to describe their Magi-Knight, or you all want to wait until next session so you have a bit more time?
Sure, I'll join my brother. Then I had time to think about it a bit more.
Go for it.
Oh. All right, then. And he will hold his crystal to his heart and he will say, "Come, my guiding light." And it's almost like vines come up and encircle around him, and a orange brown light obscures his form for a moment, and then as it bursts into green ethereal leaves, there is a he's covered in what looks like kind of like a meteoric suit of armor, like a knight's armor. And in his right hand is a long sword, almost ornamental in how it has stars and that form a certain constellation. And hovering on his left is a shield that is in the shape of the constellation Scutum.
Very cool.
Oh, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, and you can just feel that odd presence. It's almost like a pressure on the back of your mind now that you're in this form. You definitely can tell what the cat's speaking is the truth. There is something out there in the darkness, and you seem to have the power to combat it. Okay. I'm going to give y'all one last chance if anybody else wants to, but if not, then we'll go ahead and move on.
I got nothing prepared, so
That's fine. That's fine. You have until the next session, and I'll ask you to describe it then. It's totally fine. I know this is session 0 here, so, but if you wanted to, you could. Anyway, the cat looks at each of you and says, "You should probably start your investigation tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of school, if I understand correctly. That weird thing you humans do, school. I don't quite get it, but I'll be around. So if you ever need to ask me any questions, just say my name and I'll be there."
Sorry, we're grounded. We're not allowed to have friends over.
what's your name?
Oh, you mean I didn't tell you that?
No, we certainly would have remembered.
He kind of spins around a little bit and stands up as straight and tall as a cat can. And, "Well, I'm the Wanderer, and I protect this realm. And now you do too." And he gives you a big old cat grin.
The Wanderer protects the world from the outsiders.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Wanderer Cat.
Just the Wanderer is fine.
Wanderer, then. Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I'm glad to have people who seem to be competent and willing to take on this risk, because not everybody can step up. So, looking forward to working with you. If you have any questions you want to ask the cat beforehand, you can. Otherwise, you can all head back to your respective homes and all that sort. Oh, the cat did say one other thing. Oh, I forgot. I have one more thing for you. And he kind of jumps up and spins around, and objects appear. They're small. They're almost fit in your hand, and when you kind of look at them, they almost look like like an old CB radio style, just a little handheld type thing, but in more pastel colors of white and well, since all of you are actually more night based, they're going to be it's going to be white with long streaks of black and different purples and blues kind of mixed in with that. He says these are your communicators. You can communicate with each other through these, and the great thing about them is they're magic. So when you speak into them, your fellows hear and I hear, but nobody else hears. So that should help you out.
Interesting. Does it just contact anyone, or is it like a phone and we can call someone specifically?
Well, they only work with the other communicators, but if you're wanting to contact someone specifically, you can do that too.
Okay.
It's more of a a magical mind thing, and he kind of puts his hand up and taps the side of his head with his paw, and you have to think about who you're wanting to contact, either everyone in the group or someone specifically, and then just speak into it. And you see that side thing, you can put that in your ear if you want to as well.
Starting to feel a bit like a bodyguard now.
There you go. Okay. So yeah, start searching out any signs of weirdness, any signs of trouble. You see something out of the ordinary, you never know. It might be someone under the influence of the outsiders. So remain vigilant throughout your day. And if you ever have any questions, I'm just a call away. But then the cat jumps up and kind of, his wings unfurl outward, and he begins flying upward into the night sky. You all look at one another. Is that resignation in your eyes? Is that excitement? Is that hope? Is that irritation at having to do a weird task? Who knows what you see among your new companions? But you have a job. You have a mission in life. You must find these outsiders before they destroy the human realm. You can talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, but eventually I imagine you all separate and head back to your respective homes. Tomorrow is the first day of school, which in and of itself is an exciting prospect, but now that you have something more going on, maybe a little apprehensive too. Who knows? But that is the intro to An Echo from the Stars. And session 1, we're going to pick up on Monday, the first day of school.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Boy.
It should be fun.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's 10 o'clock, and that is the end of session 0. Your characters are made, your elements are chosen, and we're jumping straight on in. Y'all excited?
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
It should be a lot of fun.
Should be interesting.
Definitely.
I'm going to keep mixing up British and Irish because I play 2 Irish characters in campaigns.
I just have a whole new slew
Somewhere in the UK.
of voices to do for a brand new show, but I guarantee I will not have to role play a horse. So that's a good thing.
Matt.
You shouldn't have guaranteed that before this game, because
Actually, yeah.
somebody we haven't like fully fleshed out our characters yet. One of us could own a horse.
I was thinking of taking
The
the talk
horse
to
isn't
animals
going to
thing.
talk back.
Yes, that's the thing. You don't.
One
have,
of us could
speak
own
with
Mr.
animals.
Ed.
That's actually the voice I do.
Man,
I do
Take
Mr.
the
Ed.
talking to animals power.
now we must talk. Now we must talk to every horse.
My Monday night character is a druid. She likes talking to animals.
Yes, she
Yaminals.
Aminals.
Okay, so I always end off each session by allowing everybody to give a shout out. So let's start at the top of my screen. And Togapika, Steven, got anything to shout out?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Next off, Hito, how about you?
Hi, my name is Justin, or Tensei, or Hitoshura, depending on where you first encountered me. You can find me as Nadir Hussein Amber on Bard Rock Cafe, available on pretty much every podcatcher. Go grab it; it's fun. It's D&D, but every single cast member has wild magic.
Wow, that's fun. Like it.
Yep.
Okay, Alyssa, how about you? Can't hear you.
What do you mean you can't
now
hear
I
me?
can hear you.
There
Now
we
I
go.
buttons. I mean, you can catch me here on Mondays with Matt playing D&D. Other than that, the only place online I live is on Instagram, where I crochet things and sell them and make commissions if you are interested in wanting a thing. It's Alyssa Crochets.
And she does great work. I bought some stuff from her too. Love it. Okay. After that, we're gonna go to Clathos. How about you?
I don't really have anything to shout out, so
That's fine.
pass on.
Okay. Dasonie, how about you?
Okay, yeah. You can catch me on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. CST as the Black Ranger in the Savage Stampede campaign I'm in. It's on the Power Rangers Project Spectrum YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm playing a chaotic Black Ranger. She likes to kill things.
Oh,
Hell yeah, a lot of fun. Okay, Ryuu, got anything?
Yeah. Not yet, but I am setting up commissions for putting into just you send me like homebrew countries or cultures that you can't find the words for, and I will write it out for you. I will also do little writing descriptions if you need them, but that's coming soon.
Very cool. Okay. So, on behalf of everyone here in the Magi-Knights crew, I am Matthew R. Dawson, and I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week. Good night.
bye.
But